Now, we've said that sometimes different languages, or in different languages, we have sentences that express sort of different thoughts, different what we call propositions. But we should know that not all uses of languages have the same purpose. And philosophers who have looked into this and linguists who have looked into this have distinguished several different uses of speech. One of which they call informatives, like to inform somebody. And the idea is people use speech to tell people that something is going on. They're reporting stuff going on, and it's only when we're using these informatives that the what's expressed is a proposition and it has a truth condition. Now, there are things that we call directives. That is, sometimes we use language to get a response in some way. For you tell a little kid, don't touch the thing. Prohibition. You're not informing them of your feelings. What you're trying to do is get a response. You're trying to direct him to do something. Now, sometimes you use language to tell people how you feel, what your psychological state is with regard to certain things. Like you're happy. You say, "Oh, isn't that great?" You're expressing your delight. And a final use of language that has been identified is something called commissives. That is, you're committing yourself to someone. You're conveying, the guy who's speaking is conveying his or her intent to bring something about. For instance, you see this on TV all the time. Do you so and so take somebody to be your lawful wedded wife? And they say, "I do." That "I do" is a commissive. It's committing the person to something, to being married to someone else. And notice, with regards to the uses of language, we now can divide these things up using this little diagram. That is, what do the speakers, look at that box on the left, what do the speakers use language for? A, to represent facts. And that's what inform. They're trying to say that's the way the world is, that's the way things are. Second one, to get them to do something. It's a directive. A couple of ways we do that. We ask questions. That is, if you go over there and say, "Oh, does so and so have a drink?" Your mother tells you, "Does the guest have a drink?" She's not asking you whether she could be sitting there looking at it, but she's looking for you to do something. Sometimes she's just looking for an answer. Your requests, you're asking, "Would you move?" or something like that. C, you're conveying your attitude towards an audience, towards an event. It's an expressive, right? Like, "Oh, crap. Here it comes again." And sometimes you're committing yourself to do it. So somebody says, "Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?" You've seen them swear people in trials. It's committing. The person says, "I do, I agree to it." So that's that use of language. Now we're going to turn to different kinds of sentences, because there are 4 categories of sentences, and then we're going to try to map them back to the uses of language.